experience that needed to be had. But at the end of day, when you have like a new PC, you have growing pains, and those are
Yeah.
always fun, especially if you're not proficient in that type of tech. So
Right. Seems like you're pretty proficient though, from what I've seen.
I love to learn, especially getting like my hands on things. I'm very kinesthetic learner, so this type of stuff is like right up my alley, especially when the majority of these things have like tutorials, videos online that you can just, self-research. Very convenient.
Self-research is how I'm getting my way through college right now because Google's your friend. So,
No, check
Do
that.
not trust Wikipedia.
Getting your way through college again.
yeah, true. Second time around. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Man Cave broadcast. I see we've already got chat coming in here. The Yankee saying, "Wow, wait a bit. You up and streaming, my dude?" Yes, I am on a Sunday. Goggles in here saying this is sick. Thank you, appreciate that. We always like it when people like the podcast setup. Playing some COD right now while watching the podcast. That's awesome, dude. Technology's crazy, huh? So, let me see here. Let me go ahead and start the recording over here in Audition for myself. And I think we are ready to go. Ed, you think we're ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, Kayla,
I think
you
we're
ready?
good.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, perfect. Then it's time for our intro. What's up, everybody? I am Shane Murphy. This is the Man Cave broadcast, joined once again, as always, by my man Ed Elkins. Ed, what's up, bud?
Hey, nothing much. Nothing much. It's great to be back here. I think we took a break last weekend, didn't we?
We had to. It was my anniversary, and my wife would have killed me.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you.
dude.
Another year. Made
Yep.
it through the
Survived.
pandemic for the most part.
Right,
That
right.
too. Survived the pandemic. Yeah.
Yep. So 12 years last Sunday. It's been a minute. It's been fun. So, yep, took a week off, and now we are back. And this week we are actually going to begin starting our newer format, which is going to be actually more of an interview format. Normally, we just go ahead and have a little bit of talk about life, pop culture, gaming, really whatever kind of comes to mind, whatever the hot topics are of the week, and moving over to an interview style, I think it's going to be a little bit more fun. So our very first interview in this interview style, I would like to go ahead and welcome Kayla, aka Twitch's Time Lord's wife. What's up, Kayla?
Hi. Thank you for having me. It's like honestly really nice to not only sit down with you guys on a Sunday, but to finally converse with you because honestly, it's been a while since we've been able to just kind of chat.
I agree. Last time that all three of us were in a chat room together was for Ed's wife's birthday.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, but it's been a couple
That
months.
was a blast. October. End of October.
Yeah,
I know it's been too long. We need to do that again. Get you guys some games.
right.
Yeah.
One
we
of the
do.
few things that we're able to do while being amongst the pandemic is being able to game and do like things like Jackbox party games. Is think what we did that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was, and we had a blast. It's funny because every once in a while we'll see, since we're big into PlayStation because our kids absolutely love it. Jackbox Party games come up on sale there, and we're like, man, that would be so fun. And we realize we don't have anyone to play with aside from the kids, and what are we gonna do on that
What are you
for the
gonna do?
PlayStation?
You do. We just gotta. It's all about time. Finding
Yeah.
time because I know you guys are super busy with not only like work, kids, life, juggling that. It's. I understand.
Yep.
Yeah, that's something.
It's a lot, but we get through it. Although I
Wait,
don't know
wait,
about.
Man Cave, you have kids too, don't you?
I do.
Oh my gosh! So you both are married with children?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yep.
right.
12 years, 2 kids, and that's where we're stopping.
Wait, for the kids?
Yes,
And
and the wife.
Thank you for clarifying.
I think having the first wife is probably the only wife, and we're gonna stick with that because it's a lot easier and cheaper.
That's what I've been told.
So we'll see. All right. So for those of us who are new to the channel, again, you can find us on our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Most of it, if you search for Man Cave Broadcast, you're going to find it. Really, the only one that is not under the Man Cave Broadcast line is going to be Twitter, because you can't have too long of a name, so that is M Cave Broadcast. You can find us there. Please feel free to drop a follow, say hi, check out all the memes that I post. I don't know. I sometimes I post up pictures of my cat and stuff, but it's all fun and games. So either way, we've got the introductions out of the way. What say we jump into this interview?
Let's have some fun, shall we?
Awesome.
Hanky says that no matter what you say, you're the audio master in his book.
I appreciate that. I try very hard. I got yelled at the other day by a buddy because he said, "Hey, you talk about how you can't you don't afford to or don't have the cash to put down for one of those big monitors, right? Like 144 hertz, 240 hertz, something that you can really see well when you're playing. But you'll throw down $500 on a microphone like it's nobody's business, and it's like, but I like audio. Like I gotta have it sound good." So it is what it is. But Audio Master, man, I'll take the title. I appreciate it. So I mean, Kayla, it's all about you right now. Go ahead and tell the listeners, tell the followers a little bit about you.
Oh boy. Well, let's just start off with like the Twitch stuff to start. So coming up here in May will be my year anniversary. So we've almost been streaming for a year now. Most recently, we hit the 1,000 follower goal. We also, I think in January, hit about 100 subscribers. But since the past few months, we've been laying off of like the streaming so much. It's kind of dwindled down. But at the end of the day, that's not the main point of this, is because even though I've been off for like the few months given the tech issues and various other things, I have an amazing community that still hangs out with me, like in my Discord, watching movies with me. So like not only is it just like gaming, but it's like been building an amazing community, finding friends who I might never meet these people in person, but I have such amazing relationships with them. And honestly, like I wouldn't give them up for anything in this world.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you. That leads me into my first question. You already answered part of it, which is when you began streaming, like you said, May of last year. So coming up on a year. Congratulations.
Yep.
What made you decide to jump into streaming?
Oh, he's probably in chat there somewhere. Roland, where you at? You know you're the whole reason why I started this. Honestly, one day he just goes, "Hey, Kayla, I think you should start streaming with me." And I go, "No, that's dumb. Like, why would I start doing that? Like, it's just honestly, who does that?" Like,
Mm-hmm.
and from that point on, we started acquiring, the cameras and the computers, and it spiraled into this huge thing. And now look what you've done, Roland. Look what you've done. So if there's anybody to blame, it's Roland.
Okay, that's Roland
Not
the
me,
Bard,
Roland.
right? Okay. Um, how'd you know Roland from before? From before streaming? It's not like you
Um,
just showed up one day and said, "Hey, Kayla, guess what? We're gonna stream." And you're like, "Who the hell are you?"
I mean, I wish. That's usually how networking works in my book, but no. End of day, we've known each other for almost a decade. Most of the stuff started because friends of friends. I mean, I've known Eddie for a few years now, thanks to like work and such. And then because of him, I ended up meeting you. So it's all about networking. Using not apologies, using I feel like is the wrong word, but being able to apply your relationships in order to like find more, find better relationships.
There you
Okay.
go.
Fall in. Hey, oh, sorry. I probably should be on push to talk.
It's fine. Very cool. Very cool. So, what's something that you wish you had known when you began streaming? So, your friend Roland says, "Hey, let's go ahead and do this." We go ahead. We start acquiring all this, all the equipment that's needed, because streaming, it's not like an immediate thing you can start doing, right? You can't just start up one day and be like, "I'm gonna go and do it," because you need to have all this equipment and everything. So you start building up on that. But once you got started, and now that you're almost a year into it, what's that one thing you wish you had known at the very beginning when you started streaming that you'd like to impart upon the viewers and listeners now?
Give me a second.
Okay.
This is a good question. This is a very good question.
Thank you. I planned ahead. Ed will tell you I don't generally plan ahead for this, and not every episode is a 10. But I planned ahead for you.
Oh, thank you. I didn't plan ahead because I have no idea what you were gonna do with me. So I was like, yeah, just we're gonna go into blind, guys.
Phrasing.
Uh,
That's what. Jesus, Jane. Gee.
I don't have a drink yet. We'll make one after in the break. One thing that I wish that I would have known beforehand, before going into all of this, All right, because this is the funniest part to me. Um, Not streaming on a laptop. Like,
Okay.
okay, I get it. Like, at end of day, if you have only a laptop to use, you gotta do what you gotta do with what you have. But I do not recommend starting your streaming career on a laptop. That's where I started off on the wrong foot.
So what issues did you find when you were doing that?
Um, Laptops don't have the processing power to be able to handle gaming and a stream at the same time. Like, don't get me wrong, my little potato's a nice potato, but it isn't. It's not meant to handle streaming on top of the gaming. So that's where like my poor little 8 core was crying at me saying, "Please, please stop!" Like
Right.
skipping frames, crashing on me, all sorts of tech issues. So that's the last thing that you want as a streamer is to have tech issues, although they're going to happen regardless. But that's one thing I wish I would have known is to not start on a laptop.
Okay. All right. And so what's your current status? Because I know that you started working on moving away from that situation, moving away from the laptop. Where are we now?
Thank you, Roland. That's also a good point. Not enough USB ports on a laptop. Thank you. That's actually also a very good point.
That's
At
good.
this point in time, I'm now in kind of a Frankenstein version of a computer.
Okay.
I have everything but the GPU at this point. So I had a GPU in here, and then it started artifacting. So if anybody's unfamiliar with the term of artifacting, what that means is that either the hardware or the memory, or just we'll say the hardware in general, is just crap and
Mm-hmm.
it's starting to deteriorate. So you get these cute, and they're not cute. They're really irritating. Pink flecks, green flecks across your screen, and it just looks like your entire computer is about to have a conniption, which it is. Um, so I ended up having to send it back. Thankfully, got my money back. Oh Lord, have mercy. Um, but yeah, so we're going through. Bear with me. Partial PC with a downgraded GPU inside of it with an internal capture card, so an Elgato capture card,
Okay.
which is HDMI linked to my laptop to another screen.
Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
So yes, a very
That's what I was doing
Frankenstein
this
version.
weekend.
But I mean, has it worked for you?
Thus far, it's worked for like just chatting, D&D, because again, that's not all too intensive on my computer, because again, I'm not pulling a game or anything like that. So next week, you guys, after Gary Con and all that stuff is done, we might be doing a game and seeing how streaming from the computer but gaming from the laptop with an internal capture card is going to work. And I'll let you guys know how that adventure
Oh,
plays out.
Okay. Nice. So,
jeez.
oh, go ahead, Ed.
I was gonna say. I mean, you were just talking about D&D, and I know that this stream and the audience that we have here so far that Shane has put together is maybe not familiar with what you do normally. So D&D, you mentioned D&D. I know you've played, and my kids love watching you play Arkham Asylum and those types of games. What other things can people look forward to seeing if they hop over to your streams?
Well, I'm personal fact to preface, I'm like ADD, guys, so you'll see probably anything and everything. I am quite a variety streamer. I still owe you guys a cooking stream. So, I mean, in honesty, you'll probably see anything and everything. I cleaned out my turtle tank one time, for goodness sakes, and 20 people showed up for that, and I was like, all right, guys, let's turtle
Clean a
facts for
turtle
about
tank.
2 hours. Let's go.
All right. Nice.
That's awesome.
I have noticed quite a bit of the turtle on there. It's always fun seeing that.
Baby B, yeah,
Yeah.
she just had a bath today. She's taking a nap right now, so I'll try not to bug her too much.
Okay. How long have you had the turtle?
Going on a year now. Oh, that's not working. Going back to just chatting. We'll have to see why the turtle cam's not up, but she is about 4 years old, about the size of my head, and drop that for anybody in the chat channel that would like to read that. I'll read it for anybody that can't. Her name is Brigitte, like in Overwatch, in honor of the goddess Brigid. She's a 4-year-old leopard tortoise, and her favorite treats are dandelion greens, strawberries, and mazuri.
Interesting. What the fuck is
That
Mazuri?
is awesome.
It's a brand, a very well-known brand, apparently in the reptile industry. It's fibrous pellets with like hay and various
Okay.
other things. So it's high in fiber. It's very, very good for their diets. And for some reason, reptiles love the living crap out of it. So they won't eat hay like they're supposed to. But the way that they've created this Mazuri,
Mm-hmm.
she loves it. So it's the only way
Interesting.
I can get her to eat hay.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Um. So I guess a little bit about you. You mentioned about Frankensteining your computer together, and I just realized that your camera angle right now is different from what I'm used to seeing in your just chattings.
Do you
So
like it?
I do. I do. It's
Okay.
I like the top down view. It's kind of what I had started out with originally. So this is a recent change. Is this something that's permanent for you, or what happened with the camera?
Well, again, you know how I like long answers. Permanent. I wouldn't say it's necessarily permanent again because I'm still planning on moving here by the end of the year. So that's going to be changing. I'm still getting like an arm for the camera. I'll be seeing if I can play. So like you'll notice it's catching light right here from the old camera view. It didn't
Right,
catch any
right.
light on any of these photos. So it's you'll come to find out another annoying part about streaming, guys, is figuring out your camera angles and your lighting. It's always so fun.
Yep, I agree. Um, Tell me about the outfit. You're looking a lot like Captain Marvel right now.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Captain
That is
Marvel,
so
Wonder
cool.
Woman, courtesy of Hot Topic, guys. By the way, Hot Topic, they did not pay me to wear any of these outfits, but
What's
if they
going
would
on,
like to sponsor
Granddaddy? How
me,
you
by
doing
all
today?
means, I'm not going to complain. But yeah, if you guys know the Schneider cut just came out, so
Mm-hmm.
repping the Wonder Woman gear here for the next few days.
Were you able to actually watch and finish the Snyder Cut so far?
We did. We actually had a group of like 10 people in the TARDIS, all watching the Schneider cut. We even watched the Winter Soldier and the Falcon episode 2.
Nice.
Okay.
They were amazing. Guys, if you have not had the chance to watch them, please do. I would definitely give the Schneider Cut a solid 7,
Doing
8.
well. Thank you for asking.
Definitely. Solid 7 or 8. Definitely better than Whedon's because
Better
we
than the
want to
original
talk about
version?
Whedon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't got to watch it yet. I've been hearing a lot of what you're saying, and that is that it's just a much, much better version of the movie. So I'm very excited to watch it. However, seeing that 4 hour is just like, wow,
Yeah,
there's a
One
lot.
thing we're
we're getting.
talking about in the movie is that Schneider had actually planned it to be a 5-part trilogy, meaning 5 separate lines and 3 movies each. So each member of the JLA having their own little trilogy. That's what he had
Wow.
originally planned. And with everything happening, he's like, well, now I gotta just
Put
condense it
all these stories
all.
together. Oh no.
Although, if he had taken out a lot of the slow mo, I think he probably could have cut off like an hour, maybe.
That's
Wow.
that's Snyder for you. You can watch the movie 300 once, the first, at the full version, and then the next time, like you said, cut that slow mo. You got a 25-minute movie. It's an episode of Friends.
Skip, skip,
Yeah.
It's
skip.
an episode of Friends. It could be
So
worse. It could be Michael Bay, and it's just explosions everywhere.
that's true. That's true. Well, that's kind of what he tries for. I feel like so.
Yeah.
Um. All right. So, Kayla, as you mentioned, you've got 1,400 followers on Twitter right now. You recently crossed the 1,000 follower mark on Twitch. What do you felt, or what do you feel led to such a level of growth, especially in your first year?
Oh man, hate to name drop here. I don't owe all of the success to them, but GoDaddy did definitely teach me a lot of skills in regards to like social media marketing and networking and like how to be consistent in that regard. Because that's always been my work ethic is just being consistent. So I'll let you guys know a little bit of tips and tricks that I do on a daily basis, not only to give myself a routine, but help me in the networking aspect. So mainly through like Twitter because Facebook's trash and I don't know how to take pictures worth a damn on Instagram. So uh, for Twitter. Like say I wake up in the morning. First thing I do is I'll hop onto my socials, I'll check my notifications, I'll go into Twitter. The first thing that I'm actually looking for is any link or thread that is to support streamers.
Okay.
As soon as I see that link, I'm honestly going to go through and I'm going to like every single person's post. And I will go through and I will do that until I kind of
Yeah.
find the end of my Twitter feed. Now, you guys might ask, like, why aren't you also posting on those too? Because I know I said that I only like them.
Yeah.
I want you guys to know that some of these people or some of these channels on Twitter that do those types of, hey guys, like, retweet, follow, so on and so forth, they could be banned. They could be blacklisted. They could be in a position with these certain accounts because they maybe got in trouble with their originals and now they're trying to regain growth at an exponential rate by creating these threads. So by you going and posting just even your link on these types of threads puts you in hot water. And what I mean by that is that when, say, if you're going for partner, if you're going for sponsors, they have ways of looking at these analytics, looking at your traffic of how you went through social media in the past, what you did to gain your following and things like that. If they see stuff like that or see that you've posted on a blacklisted link, that immediately is a mark on you, and you had no
Interesting.
idea. So that's something that I've learned in my research, is that a lot of the people that try to gain more traffic is because they've probably messed up on their last channel and they're trying to regain that back. So, and I'm not saying that every like support streamer Twitter channel is like that, because again, we don't know, but that's the thing, you don't know. So rather be safe than sorry. So you can go through support, comment, like all you want, but just make sure not to post your link on those, because that could be possibly blacklisting you as well without you knowing.
Interesting. Yankee showed up into my chat here and says curious, just curious, which gives me a very
Curious.
Harry Potter vibe when he says that. So, but that's a really interesting take on that. I had no idea about that personally. So, watching not only I guess what you're posting, but just like where you're posting it on. Cool, interesting. Ed, do you have another question that you wanted to present?
Yeah, I got a few of them here. So let me ask, so when it comes down to creating content, I noticed that you mentioned, Kayla, and I've seen it in your streams. Like I said, my family watches them quite often. Even when Shane was asking about your background, you were saying we, because you've created that community. So you've talked about reach, how you're reaching more followers by liking on posts and whatnot. How are you creating that community to keep and retain those followers and basically create this haven for so many people online?
I'd go back to consistency in all things, honestly. Is not just being like consistent with my routine, but also with like my personality. Like, I'm sorry, I apologize. I like to uh, diverge a little bit sometimes in my conversation, but like I saw a post earlier today, is like, you can't do this career and be fake about it. Even if you're kind of a butthole, you have to be that butthole on stream. You can't be anything else, because one, it's exhausting, and two, if people find out that that's not actually your persona, you'll actually lose followage because of it. So always be true to yourself and be consistent. Honestly, that's really that's the major advice that I could probably give somebody in life and streaming. Just be consistent. So,
Yeah.
like, say for example, like schedules is one of the hardest things for us as streamers to be consistent with, because we're adults and our lives are constantly changing and busy. But I'm consistently communicative with my community. That's a little repetitive. Apologies. I don't like that sentence structure at all. But I'm always talking with them, letting them know, like, even being honest with them of why I'm not able to stream that day. Like, you guys don't always have to be like, give them full details, because again, it is your personal life. But with me building this community, I want them to feel like they're a part of my life. I don't want them to feel like they're ever on the outside of that window or on the other side of the screen, because then I'm not doing my job right, I feel.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Uh, in that community vein, you said something earlier that I don't even know if you kind of like realize that you do it. But you mentioned that you watched the Snyder cut of Justice League in the TARDIS, but didn't explain to my chat or Spotify what that is, because as I've
Oh,
seen, the TARDIS for you is your community, right? It's just an immediate thing that you go to that is more authentic for you. You know what I mean? So go ahead and explain, for my viewers and listeners, what the TARDIS is and what that is to you.
well, since I am a major fan of Doctor Who, and I made my moniker around the Time Lord's wife, of course, the Discord's going to be named the TARDIS. So anytime we're going to be joining up for games or shenanigans, watching movies, that's where we're going to be, is in the Discord, which we've named the TARDIS. With that, we have a theater in there. We've got, lockdown Discord channels that you guys can use at any point in time. It's not something that we're in there frequently, because everybody usually has their own Discords. But when we all want to come together as a group, you'll usually find us in the theater watching movies.
Nice, very cool.
Wow.
All right, so here's a kind of an offshoot question. Normally, so far we've talked about the streaming. and we'll get back to it. But I want to have just kind of a fun one here. What's the first video game that you remember playing?
Was that Warhammer Vermintide 2?
What?
I'm pretty sure my first game on stream was Warhammer Vermintide 2.
I mean, in
Yeah.
general, in life.
Oh, my first game in general in life.
Yes.
Oh, apologies. I misunderstood the question.
I was like, there's no way you started out on Warhammer.
First game in general in life. Oh, Lord.
A bottle opener go.
I'd say like what got me into streaming, especially or like what I can remember was my most iconic game of the time, Fire Emblem.
Yeah, there you go.
Really? Interesting.
Fire Emblem, Game Boy, Pokemon as well. I actually played
Okay.
Fire Emblem before I played Pokemon, so yeah, I'd say Fire Emblem.
Interesting. Okay. Do you still play the newer ones that come out?
Yes. I'm obsessed.
Okay.
It's the tactical RPGs. They're they get me going.
Okay. Which one would you say is your favorite Fire Emblem?
Oh, I'd say the older school ones because they had the turn by turn aspects. The newer ones are cool and all, and I love the 3D look of it because that's something that we always wanted back in the day of low graphics. But they changed the feel of the newer games from the turn by turn aspect to more of like a free flowing fighter where you're going up against hundreds of mobs of like little NPCs and you're supposed to do like combo attacks
Mm-hmm.
to I'm trying to think of a game that's familiar or similar to that. More of like a fighter than it was a turn-by-turn
Okay.
TTRPG. So
Interesting.
they changed the feel of it. It was I
Sounds
didn't
like
say I
maybe-
hated it, but
Sounds kind of like the newer Final Fantasy, or the remake that just came out.
I haven't played any of the Final Fantasy games.
Ever?
Nah.
Wow. All right. That's
How do I preface this? Super nerdy, and I played like Star Wars: The Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic, Pokemon, things like that. But then we had consoles and stuff in the house, but they were allotted to my brothers. So any shooters, any Batman games, any games that I wanted to try on the consoles, I had to fight three brothers.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, there you go. Darn you!
Yeah.
You will rue the day, brothers.
That's why you see my enthusiasm playing those Batman games at 25 years
Yes,
old.
I do.
I never got the chance when I was younger.
Nice. Very cool. Ed, what's another question that you've got for Kayla?
Okay, so in regard to your gaming, what games do you try to stay away from? And I'm not talking streaming wise, but I'm just talking in general. Everyone has that certain genre. For me, and I think Shane can tell you that he's had experience over here gaming with us. Horror games. I don't do jump scares. What about you, Kayla?
I don't really do jump scares either. But my community loves it. So I have been slowly but surely, being comfortable with being uncomfortable, essentially. And that's what
Okay.
I love, is because they've been able to push me out of my bubble. I would be like, no, I will never watch horror movies, because it's not that I have a problem with horror or jump scares. It's because when I go to bed at night, my subconscious likes to play tricks on me, and that's
Yep.
not always too fun.
Yeah.
So the other day we did a silent stream, and they literally sent off jump scares almost every 5 minutes to try and get me to scream. And like we're talking like audible noises in my headphones, things popping up on the screen while I'm playing games, like anything and everything they could do just to get me to scream.
What is
So,
a silent stream?
it was essentially a silent charity stream that I was doing. The community had asked that I don't talk during the
Okay.
entirety of the stream, and if I happened to scream or make a noise of some sort, I had to start drinking. So essentially, the more inebriated I got, the harder it was for me to be quiet.
Okay.
How did I miss this? I
Yeah,
missed.
I
It's
missed it
kids.
too.
It's because of the kids.
Right.
They got me so good too. There was a portion, there's a clip of it where I was going, and it wasn't even a scary game because it was a psychological thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they got me at the right point in time, and I'm pretty sure my neighbors were about to, send a noise complaint against me that day.
Nice. I remember watching one of them the other day. It has to do with perception, the one where you pick up an item, and if you back up or go forward, it'll get bigger or smaller. And I remember,
Superliminal, super fun.
yeah. I remember seeing them get you real good in that one, and that was a
I
pretty
highly
funny stream.
recommend that game. I think it's like $15 if you've yet to play it. It's super fun. I actually think the boys would have a lot of fun with it if you can play it
I'll have to
on
check it out.
PlayStation.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Nice.
We have two gaming computers here, one a gaming laptop and one the computer I'm on right now. So these kids take turns on the Steam account, bouncing
Oh,
back
we
and
were
forth.
talking about that the other day, like how cross-platform was allowing your kids to play, what was it, Fortnite together?
Yeah, they're playing. Yeah, we just got the kids both a Nintendo Switch Lite for my son's birthday, and so they're both playing Fortnite. And then, oh, Daddy can play on the PlayStation with them. Oh,
Okay.
and Mommy can play on the other laptop. Oh, so then you start having conversations with your now 7-year-old about how he should sneak up on someone to kill them, and you start wondering about your family values. If anyone were to
Raising them
come to the
right,
door
man.
and knock, yeah.
Right.
So,
Raising them right.
That's
Daddy, it's a
awesome.
headshot. What?
It's
So,
kind of the same with Among Us. I found like
Oh,
my
they all go
girls
back
do
to
that.
school next week, and they're like, "So, what did you guys all learn at homeschool? I learned how to do headshots, and I'm
Hmm.
sorry, wait, what?"
Yeah.
pretty much, pretty much.
Nice. So
Oh
Kayla,
man.
your streams tend to have a variety to them, right? So you transition between just chatting, playing games, your community movie nights. You mentioned your live Dungeons and Dragons role playing events. What's your preferred stream type to do? What gets you most jazzed to hit that start streaming button?
Anything that allows me to play with other people. I don't do well solo playing. I tend to get really bored. I get distracted and I notice that I trail off or get really silent because I'm too concentrated on
Mm-hmm.
the game. So I get more excited knowing that I'm going to play games with people because honestly, they are what makes the game. Honestly, I'm never going to play a majority of games if I don't have at least two other people saying that they're going to play with me.
Okay. So you prefer
Man, so streaming is actually like the ideal. Sorry, Shane. It's
you're
the
good.
ideal platform for you because you have people talking at you and talking and conversing with you all of the time, whether audio or typed word.
Exactly. In fact, I've met a lot of cool people just through the game alone, like me streaming. Like we were talking about Warhammer Vermintide 2 earlier. I've had people just come in because of their interest of the game. And I don't think he's in here tonight, but Cloud June. Cloud June has been one of my founding followers, and he is one of anytime I'm in that game, you bet your bottom dollar he is either in my chat channel or he is already asked, like he's already inviting me because if you're friends on stream you can just jump into somebody's game, especially if it allows. So I'll just like look up at the players or the NPCs and I'll see Cloud June's name and I'm like, okay, this is fine. Like
Yeah,
Nice.
that is pretty cool.
sometimes
Yeah,
do that, sleep on Man Cave one time and just pop into one of his games without him realizing.
it happened to me the other day when I was doing Valorant. I had I think the Yankee in your channel and Lox, who's been in there. They both popped into a Valorant match, and all of a sudden I got noises or I got voices in my headphones that aren't supposed to be there. I'm like, who is this? So I've been there before, but yeah, you're more than welcome to jump in at any time.
That being said, I've noticed that a lot of them have been playing shooters with you. How's that going?
It's going well. It's funny because I had to like relearn how to do shooters after so long off. After I had my daughters, there was like a 5-6 year period where I really wasn't playing, and when I was, it was more on console. And so I got away from the mouse and keyboard for a long time. And then over this last year, right before COVID hit, I started learning a little bit more. But then when I started streaming in I don't know mid 2020, that's when I really started getting back into the first person shooter genre more and getting used to mouse and keyboard. And then I started meeting more people from the community like Enki and Lox who are playing in it more competitively. I got a buddy, the X Button. He plays really competitively. He's actually in tournaments quite a bit. And so I've been trying to learn from him. So it's really been kind of interesting for me because I came from a sports background, sports in junior high and high school, and try to stay active most of my life. And I've really missed that competitive side. I was a competitive paintballer through junior high and high school as well, into college. And the team-based shooter really works for me, and having that communication really, really works for me. So having people who are passionate in that type of gaming and actually competing together has been really, really cool. It gets me more jazzed, especially when you start having stuff like this Call of Duty League that's becoming bigger and bigger every day, and having these competitive events and the different tournaments that are going out. Later in April, I'm competing in the qualifier for the Fiesta Bowl Warzone tournament, and like that gets me excited nowadays because I'm 33, yeah, 33, and I don't get to be in those, just like those regular competitive environments much anymore. It's mainly work and take care of the kids and then go to bed. And this has really opened up a exciting part of my life again, in being able to, like you said, play with that type of community and have that type of interaction again, and really be able to compete on a level again. So it's been a lot of fun.
Makes me excited knowing that you're in the local area and that you enjoy paintballing and that I still have my gear.
Do you?
So Lego! Actually, I've been invited to a buddy's birthday party for his 30th, and he's doing paintballing for his
Really?
30th. So we're gonna be doing that, and I'm thinking I'm gonna take the GoPro with me and record some action, and then throw that up on stream, because why not?
There you go. That'd be awesome. I haven't played in so long. I was just talking about this too the other day. My biggest problem with paintball was the cost. It was so expensive. Like when I was competing, going to tournaments, we would take, half a pallet of paint with us, and with every box being $50 for 2,000 paintballs, and with me being able to go through over 1,000 a match, I would throw $500 worth of paint on the field every tournament, and that's a lot of money, especially when you're going and practicing on the weekend. You're putting down $50 to $100 every weekend, and it's just like, whoo, it racks up. At least with gaming and PC gaming, a lot of it you can get for a lot cheaper than that. So it's a little bit easier for me to convince my wife, hey, I need to buy a $20 game instead of, hey, I need to go pay another $100 in paint this weekend. So it's been I miss it. There's actually oh man, I don't know if anyone in either chat knows this. It's a real throwback thing, but on my wall in here, I've got a Team Dynasty, the JT paintball team from that's a 2002 poster. So 20 years ago, I got a big poster up of all signed from the winningest team in paintball in 2002. So it was a huge part of my life. Wow, Enki says that is a throwback, so he knows it.
2002.
Yeah,
I graduated from high school in 2003. Jeez.
Here I was
Y'all making me feel old.
I was gonna try and be all like, oh, I graduated in 06, you old man, and then I realized that Kayla said she's 25, which means that she probably graduated in 2012. Oh.
Close. It would have been 12, but my parents wouldn't let me graduate another year early. So, like, yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
Wow.
Different conversation for another time.
Yeah. So, little desert island question for you. What is the one game you would take with you if you were stranded on a desert island?
None, because I can't use a computer on a desert island.
Assuming that you had all of the stuff you needed to play a game but not communicate with the outside world, what is the one game you would take with you if you were stranded on a desert island?
Pack of playing cards.
Really?
A pack of playing cards allows you to play so many different games with just that one set of pack of playing cards.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Enki said chess in the chat.
Chess would be good.
Chess would be good.
But that would be, we can get those magnetic boards, robotic boards.
You could. And he says you could even recreate it if it got destroyed. Just make big, different size chess pieces.
Not trying to flex or anything, but if you can whittle and you're stuck and stranded on an island, you probably could just make a chessboard. Not trying to flex or anything.
Yeah. There you go. Reaper Spawn 86 in chat says Battleship. It's a little on the nose being in the middle of the ocean.
That's how we got to the island. You're supposed to say what?
Ed, what about you? What game would you take?
Oh man, as weird as this may sound, there's a game that came out called Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
It's really big on the PlayStation, and you can basically make your own games within it, and you can play VR as well and play other people's levels that they create.
Oh,
So highly recommend it. I mean, it's a world of options.
True. True. Nice.
What
Okay.
about you, Shane?
I mean, like I said, if I'm stranded, if I'm not going anywhere, and I had the ability to, Kayla, I would do something multiplayer based. Just because it would like keep me sharp. So I don't know. Probably one of the Call of Duties. You know, this Valorant has been a blast. I'd probably do that. But if I didn't have that option and I got stuck with just doing one thing, honestly, probably Fallout 4.
question for you
Yes.
then, real quick. Which, because I noticed that you all play both. Which do you prefer? And they're different. I totally
Mhm.
understand that the play styles are different of these games. But
Yeah.
Valorant or Apex? Because right now, those two games are literally like top of the crop right now.
Yeah, Valorant, 100% over Apex.
If I may ask why.
Yeah, the Apex style I don't really understand too well, and maybe that's like
Okay.
something that I would need to just get better at. But that type of loot management doesn't really work too well with me. Whereas Valorant,
See?
similar to what Chat mentioned with chess, I feel like Valorant is almost the chess version of the shooter genre. You have to really kind of try to outthink your opponent and kind of get an idea of what they're going to do before they even do it. And so I like that version a lot better. Apex, I love the Battle Royale. I just, that kind of loot management really doesn't key in with me too well. So I think that Valorant's a little bit better because it really uses your brain more than it uses. I mean, reflexes are a huge thing. I'm not going to say that's not, but it uses your brain a lot more than just your standard shooter does. So, chat says that Apex is hyper aggressive. You need to know everyone's abilities. So there's just so much to learn behind Valorant besides just like what's the best gun and what are the best angles. There's a lot more to learn in Valorant, and it could take years to become like truly proficient in that game.
Jeez.
So
Man, I'm
Yeah.
sitting here thinking about proficiencies, and I hate to sidetrack the conversation, but we're talking about games and gameplay styles and whatnot. One series I love the gameplay style for is Far Cry.
yeah,
I love it. They do a great job for that type of stuff.
I bought that on a Humble Bundle and I downloaded it all and I have yet to touch it. So on a scale
Oh
of
my
1 to
gosh.
10, how would you rate the Far Cry series?
I would probably give it an 8. I would
Okay.
probably give it an 8. I'm
All right.
bordering on 9 right now, and here's why. You see, I have a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old, and as a family, we like to watch kids' movies a lot, obviously. Crudes is a hit. So, we weren't going to get the new Crudes, the new whatever it is, because to rent it, it's like $13. To rent it and watch it once,
Mhm.
it's $13. However, on PlayStation Store, they had a new sale, and they're like, hey, here's Far Cry Primal for $9. So Daddy went and bought Far Cry Primal for my 7 and 5-year-old to play. And it's just like the Crudes. Daddy, this is amazing. This is just like the Crudes. It's whack. And then he's got a goat.
Oh no.
I'm about to teach you about nature real fast, kiddos. So yeah, that's all right. Sidetrack. That's what I thought of when we were
Hey.
talking about
We learned
gameplay
about
styles.
headshots and we learned how to hunt ghosts.
Yeah, and woolly mammoths. But it's a great game. I would highly recommend it.
We would take Far Cry
Oh, the
Primal on the desert island.
Teacher just has this look on her face.
Yeah.
What?
What? What is this?
What are you talking about?
Oh.
So,
Yeah,
Ed,
that was my rant.
have you got another question you'd like to present?
The thing is with Kayla, her intro and the questions you asked, Shane, and I knew this about Kayla from the minute I heard her speak when I first met her. She's a very forthright person, and she will tell you what's exactly is on her mind. She has done just that. So all the questions I've had, she's already answered for.
Okay. Interesting. I've still got a couple. Chat, if you have any that you'd like us to pose to Kayla, let us know. And Kayla, I have your stream up too, so I'll see if your chat has anything up. But one of the big things I'd like to know, and I know that Roland, so I'm going to take Roland out of the equation on this one, because I know that Roland the Bard helped you get started with everything. Who are one or two other streamers that have been the most influential to you in the streamer community?
Off the bat, definitely the Yankee. So he is an amazing artist. He not only does art, but he does graphic design. So you'll notice on his stream, his overlays, his panels, everything he did by himself, by hand. I haven't watched him do it. He even did my panels as well, all of my backgrounds, pretty much anything that you see on my stream, except for the one currently. This is free through Stream Elements, because we're working on the new one. But once
Nice.
that's up, all of this is the Yankee. So he's been extremely influential on me in not only like helping me get my image out there, but also just networking as well through various communities that we've had, helping other people out. He's done work for various other streamers because he's also a very good person. So if you guys ever need any like icons, overlays, things like that, definitely reach out to the Yankee. And then the next one is in a very similar boat. Super Joystick Bros. He actually did a lot of my icons that you'll see now, and various other things as well. In fact, I commissioned him to do these emotes for my boss, for his dog that had just passed away, and he literally had these emotes done within like an hour. Like
Wow.
literally, like I sent him pictures, just said, "Hey, this is what I need, no rush." And he literally sent me the file like that night, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, dude! Like, I
Wow.
love you, but what?"
Yeah.
He's absolutely amazing. He did not ask a dime for me to do these, but he did them out of the kindness of his heart, and of course I compensated him regardless. Like, don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong, guys. He got what was due, and he's gonna get more assuredly. But I did it in a fashion that he can't refund me. That's why. Um,
Okay.
and then those two people have just been extremely influential because not only are they extremely kind-hearted people, they do amazing work. They literally take time out of their days because they work full-time jobs. They do all this stuff on top of that, and they stream. So they're amazing. Please, guys, I'm gonna give them shout outs, so please check them out. Please do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
Very cool. Very cool. Um, so I
I want to
think
know what's going on in the background here. I see some lightsabers on the wall. I see some, are these 11 by 17s? Framed behind you. I see a TARDIS over in the corner. You've got like all this awesome
wow.
geekdom going on here, which I love myself. But
Mm-hmm.
so, what is all this? Is this a Star Wars wall? I see the Mandalorian or Boba Fett. I'm not sure. Back
Oh
behind you.
Lord. I should honestly, I think what I should do is like a really shitty version of like the Pimp My House, or what is it where they give you a tour of your house and they're like, "Hey
MTV
guys,
Cribs.
thank
Yeah.
you, MTV Cribs," really shitty
TV
version of
crib.
MTG Cribs. And I'm just gonna take you guys on a tour of my house because this, what you see here, it looks like it's a little corner, and yes, it's a little corner of my apartment, but my entire house kind of looks like this.
Okay.
That's
Um,
awesome.
So you're gonna see, yeah, these are those Master Forge sabers. They don't work. I jacked them from somebody who was an old roommate. He left them in a closet.
Oh,
So
no
finders
kidding.
keepers, losers weepers. They're mine now.
Yeah.
And these are all done by the same artist. Every time I went to Comic Con, I had this artist Latik Curry. I have his information on shout out as well. He did every single one of these except for the Coruscant landscape print up there.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So you've got Django, Boba. This is a Doctor Who one. He only did a few of those, and then that's hard to see. I moved it there on purpose. It's a TIE fighter pilot. I love it, but not my favorite. Um, he is an amazing artist. Every year I went to Comic Con, not only did I grab a piece of his work, but I also had him do a custom piece of me in Mandalorian armor. So my face, Mandalorian armor, and then every year I went, I had him add on more background, more detail, more of this, more of that, more color, and slowly but surely over the years as I went, it became a more finalized piece until, pandemic
Mm-hmm.
happened. So
hmm
it's been
Of
put on
course.
hold for the time being.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's an awesome system you have there. That's cool.
So
I
Just
like
those
going
that.
arts
back and
right
adding more
there,
to it.
I'll just like real quick. Obviously, those are just a bunch of like RPG books, nerd books, Star Wars, Tolkien. Anything your heart desires. Ukulele is not very important. Funko Pops, not that fun, guys. Probably what everybody has in their background.
Yeah,
No.
here we go. Here we
Nobody
go.
has that in the background of their video.
What? Funko Pops? Who has those?
Who does that?
What?
Man,
Yeah, I'll attach like a GoPro to my head and I'll just walk around my house one day.
there you go. I thought I was about done. You actually opened up 2 more questions for me. So with obviously your love of Star Wars, right?
Mhm.
And I believe, because I've seen you play quite a few games that I know are on Microsoft's Game Pass for PC. How do you feel about the new EA Play acquisition being bringing EA Play into Game Pass for free, especially with its large volume of Star Wars games like Star Wars Squadrons and the Fallen Order game?
I think it was like a long time coming. At end of day, we all know EA's penny pinchers, so the fact that they're giving away something for free is kind of like, what? Like, so I'll take what I can get with a lot of the free games. Unfortunately, I've already purchased and have downloaded the majority of them through Steam, so
Okay.
it's a double-edged sword there. Like, yes, it's great, and hopefully I'll find some games that I have yet to purchase and or download, and be able to stream them through there. But I did already get the majority of them through Steam, so.
Okay. That's where being a patient gamer actually helped me out quite a bit, because I hadn't bought hardly any of them. And when all of a sudden the Bethesda acquisition went through and EA Play in the same week coming to Xbox Game Pass for PC, absolutely blew my mind, because I just got a ton of value out of what, $10-15 a month. And
That's amazing.
Very
I love
Then
it.
there was already value in it, and then it just exponentially increased.
Oh,
Because I'll
yeah.
be honest, you guys, if you don't already have one of the Xbox Game Passes, please at least before you subscribe, take a brief look at the games that they have listed below, and keep in mind that they are always adding games, as Mancave just said, with the acquisitions, and they're adding on just repositories of libraries of games now. You guys will have access to those. They don't take those games away either. So literally for just a few dollars a month, you have so much content. There's
Yeah.
a lot of good games on there.
I don't think it's really a hot take to say that the Game Pass system right now, especially, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's a hot take. Game Pass is probably the best value in gaming entertainment
is.
right now. I think it's
Definitely.
better
Mostly
than
because like we all did you know that Steam's getting sued right? Well, not Steam, Valve. Sorry, Valve is getting sued right now.
4.
Pretty much monopolizing the market on game pricing,
Oh, yes, I did
I could
hear
see
about
that.
Yes.
where
Yeah.
they're not allowing, because they hold those prices, and they do not allow. Their sales are around the holidays, and that's about it.
Yeah,
Other than that, the games are usually always full price.
you're right.
So they're getting sued because of that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's nice to have some competition there, which is really a big thing. But it reminds me, because I remember, I'm old enough to remember when Microsoft had to get broken up because they were creating monopoly on the market, and now I'm starting to feel like they're getting there again. But at the same time, I'm like, well, fuck, all my games are free now, so monopolize away.
Actually, I'll point this out though. I had a game on Steam. Let me remember the name of it. Deep Rock Galactic. There we go.
Yes.
I got it on Steam. My buddy had it through the Microsoft Store.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cross-platform,
Right.
so we couldn't play together.
Which
So
is
that
weird.
is one thing.
Because generally, when you hear cross-platform, it means that you couldn't play with him if he was on his Xbox or his PlayStation. And in this case, it was actually like cross-vendor.
Yeah. Mode of acquisition.
Yeah,
Holy moly.
that was definitely very weird. So that Game Pass, I think, is the way to go right now. I already downloaded Star Wars
Yes.
Squadrons and Fallen Order. Star Wars Squadrons is some of the most fun I've had playing a video game in 5 years.
So, question: how long did it take you to get past that intro?
You know what? I got through like the first kind of mission, and then I just like closed it out and reopened and got into the multiplayer and was playing with my buddies, and I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. I don't know what I'm doing. Because
Roland knows why I'm asking that question. So you know the Yankee, right?
yeah.
He did, what was it, 2 hours, Roland? 2 hours? And he still couldn't get past it. It was like 3. Oh, we love you, Yankee. We're not
Yankees in
laughing
my
at you,
chat
we're
going, oh my
laughing
god,
with you.
no.
And he's like, why can't I skip this? I just want to be able to skip this. And then he's like, you can, dude. After
Yeah.
3 hours.
After 3 hours, you can skip anything.
You don't got to go through the full single player campaign.
It was he deleted the VOD. How rude. He deleted the
Ank, you
VOD.
did?
He
Oh,
deleted it.
bad take, bad take. That's
I was
awesome.
like, that's the best content. You were raging and it was amazing. He's like, no. I was like, but it was.
Oh my gosh. It's such a fun game though. I mean, it's a blast. He says he didn't delete it. I don't believe it. I'm going to go find it. Get timed out, he says. So,
Mm.
3 hours in, I bet it did.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Meanwhile,
So, he
everybody
says
else
it
is
wiped
in the
itself.
game and they're playing in the background going pew 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 and Anki's over there going
Why can't I get out? That's awesome. So you play Squadrons then? No?
So, because again, the back to the whole not being able to be like on consoles and shooters and stuff when I was younger, playing shooters now is literally me teaching like a whole new skill, like on how to walk again. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, Eddie's sons could probably beat me in Fortnite, no problem. That's
Eddie's
how bad
sons
I
can
am.
probably beat me in everything. And I would like to do this as a job. And he can still play. Kick my
That's what my
ass.
kids do.
Yeah. So
Raising 'em right, man.
yeah. Rolling up on the last couple of questions here, but you did mention about, the pandemic. Both of us got started in streaming in the time of COVID. And you mentioned Comic-Con, which, as we know, has been canceled for the last year and a half or so. What is the first thing you're looking forward to doing post-COVID? In my area of the state, 18 plus, we can go get vaccinated now. I'm getting my first vaccine next week on Sunday, and I'm super excited for it. So the light at the end of the tunnel is there, right? We're coming up near the end of COVID, which is really, really awesome. And it's kind of weird because we've now been in this for over 365 days. And it's become a massive part of our life. So when that time comes, when we can go out and maskless and crowds and, doing whatever we need to do, what are you most looking forward to?
Not trying to brag, but I'm super excited for my Scorpions and Queensryche concert coming up here in May.
Wow.
Nice.
The Scorpions?
Yeah, the
They
Scorpions.
still tour?
It's been on my bucket list since I was 12, maybe. My dad got us into like I hate saying this, classic rock. It's not classic rock. To kids nowadays it is, but anyways, he has yet to see Queensryche, and I've always wanted to see Scorpions, and they are doing a one-time only residency in Las Vegas. So this might be the last time I ever get to see them play live. That, and because like you said, they're old.
They're old.
Like, very old.
I don't know how much longer the cocaine can hold them together.
Like, meanwhile, that's what they were probably doing with this entire year during the pandemic. It's just housed up,
Yep.
Hard
How long of a line can you make?
Oh, man. So I'm looking forward to that. My mom's getting vaccinated. They're all coming down. I literally last year, right before the pandemic happened, I purchased tickets for everybody in my family, my immediate family, which there's 8 of us. So I got them all tickets to go to this concert with me because I just want to make those memories.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic happens. And I'm like, is the universe telling me not to make these memories with my family? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Right.
Nice. Okay.
Oh man.
Ed, what about you?
Oh man. Oh geesh. What am I looking forward to most? Probably going further than 2 miles away from my house. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
We've really been bunkered down, like seriously bunkered.
We have been. Yeah. The furthest I've gone is up to Walgreens. But since the pandemic hit, I haven't been inside any buildings aside from my residence and a cabin up north. So that type of stuff.
So you just been ordering your groceries this entire time?
Yeah, well, we were doing that beforehand, but we're doing a lot more now.
Oh.
But yeah, everything gets delivered. So.
And I'm gonna have to try that because I don't know if they actually do that to apartments. Really
I bet they do.
That's a good question.
They just gotta get through the
People
gate.
are lazy when it comes to apartments, sir.
Yeah, that's true.
They see gates and they see apartments and they immediately like -5 in their demeanor. I'm like,
You went there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What about
Cool.
you, Shane?
I mean, going out in groups, going to a concert again would be great. Last concert I went to was Foo Fighters. So,
Ooh.
unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that the first concert I get to go to post-pandemic is going to be JoJo Siwa.
Oh yeah, your girls are big
My
into
my
that.
girls have been waiting on that for over a year. So,
Jojo?
JoJo,
Ponytail Jojo?
JoJo, yep,
Ponytail
ponytail
JoJo.
and bow,
Yeah, they've
JoJo,
been really big into JoJo.
yep,
Concert? Singing?
Yeah.
Sorry. What? I
Yeah.
thought she was just an influencer. I
No.
didn't know she. Oh,
she's a singer.
shows
She's
you
got
how
some
behind I
talents.
Yep. So, I'm gonna be that. I feel like I'm not a weird guy, but I feel like if you're the
You-
dude showing up to a JoJo Siwa concert, even with your kids, you're gonna look like the weird guy there.
I don't know, but they're two youngins. They gotta be chaperoned by somebody, right?
They're
Like,
they're
can you
gonna
at
be.
least wear a wig with a ponytail? Like,
Can I? Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
it's for the girls.
It's for the girls.
Might as well.
It's for the girls.
Then I
And for
can
blackmail
really.
when you're a little bit older.
Yeah, and then I can really look like the weird guy at the concert. JoJo, I wore your ponytail. So-
Okay.
JoJo,
You guys
take
watch
it
Bob's
back.
Burgers at all?
Nope.
Bob's Burgers? Anybody? Anybody in chat watch Bob's Burgers? They make fun of bronies,
Yeah.
and they have like a convention of what they call equestronauts. And oh yes, bingo, exactly. And so and it's just a bunch of guys dressed up as these horses. And when you're talking about being dressed up as JoJo Siwa,
Mhm.
that's exactly what I was picturing.
I-
You're
Because
not a true
horses lead
JoJo
me to
fan.
something a
I
little
think I'd
different,
rather be dressed up
though.
as a
Like,
brony. At least they're like,
Well,
oh
they call
yeah, you're supposed to be here.
my name's a Pegasus-sister, apparently. Not a brony, a Pegasus.
Pegasus.
A Pegasus
I like
sister?
it. I like it.
Yeah.
That reminds me, we got tickets for Matchbox 20. It was Matchbox
Ooh.
20 and Wallflowers, I think. Or
Wow.
I can something like that. Right before the pandemic, and
Yeah.
so October, I
Yep,
think.
give 'em back.
Did they
Or
reschedule?
did they change the dates?
Yeah, they changed the dates. I think tentatively it's going to be October, but
Okay.
tentatively is the keyword.
All right. I don't know why when you said Matchbox 20, I immediately got Hootie and the Blowfish. Oh, I want to be with you. Oh, in my head.
That's not.
That's not it. That's not it.
What?
Spoiler alert. So,
It's like singing Jingle Bells at someone's birthday party.
yeah,
You can do it, but then you're the weird uncle.
it's a song, but not the right one. So,
Hold
All
on,
right.
Sorry. you guys can't. You guys can't hear this, but I was playing music in the background, and all of a sudden, Wellerman, a sea shanty, just started playing.
soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum.
So I'm going from like chill, like jazz music to all of a sudden like bam, sea shanty. And I was like, where is this coming from?
Why is this happening?
Sorry. Go back to the
Perfect. So, wrapping up here, Kayla, if you were in my shoes, what would you have asked yourself that I missed during this interview?
thing. You asked everything. You did.
You
no,
sure?
Honestly, you did it perfectly. I can't think of anything.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you. So let me go ahead and give you the opportunity for a last final shout out here. Where can our listeners, both on Spotify and Twitch, and any of the videos on demand and YouTube, etc., connect with you online?
You can find me on Twitch, .tv at Time Lord's Wife. Also, Time Lord's Wife on Twitter and Time Lord's Wife on Instagram, and also the same on pretty much anything. Because one last little tidbit for you guys in social media: make sure that you grab your name on anything and
Mhm.
everything, even if it's OnlyFans. Please don't judge me; it's for marketing purposes.
You have an
Really
OnlyFans?
lock it down.
Wow, you and Ed
I
both.
do. I did because I didn't want somebody to steal it, and because the last thing you want is somebody to jack your name on a social media platform and then do things with it. So
Yeah.
Brand consistency.
That's true.
exactly. Thank you, Eddie. You would know about that.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So if you're ever looking
Hence
for
the
the Man
shirt.
Cave broadcast on OnlyFans, and now I know I gotta go get that.
But I need to see you. Never mind. I was gonna say JoJo's. But
Wow.
I realized there might be things and.
Wow.
For OnlyFans?
I have kids.
Sorry.
I Of all the
I
photos that
know.
I don't want my kids to see, I think probably me wearing a side pony on OnlyFans is probably the worst one.
Then a horse outfit.
Yeah, just
A side side pony on a brony.
yeah, side pony on a brony. That sounds like a song. So cool. Ed, anything else that you'd like to go over before we sign off?
No, man, this has been a lot of fun. It's nice to talk with other people we haven't spoken with in a long time. So nice to see you again, Kayla.
See you guys. And honestly, it's been a long time. We need to get together once the pandemic's over in person, have a few beers, and honestly, just chill out. That'd be super fun.
I agree.
Definitely.
All right. Well, chat, thank you so much for being here. Time Lord's wife's chat, the TARDIS, thank you for joining us. I've seen you in chat interacting. It was great having you. Please feel free to follow the show either on Twitch at Man Cave Broadcast, Twitter, like I said, M Cave Broadcast, and everything else, Facebook and Instagram is the Man Cave Broadcast. More than happy to have you. You can also pop into my chat at any time and go ahead and do !Discord. And it'll give you a link to the Discord if you'd like to join in there and stay in the conversation. Also, this podcast will be available on our podcast on Spotify. If you'd like to follow the show on there, please go ahead and search up, you guessed it, Man Cave Broadcast, and you'll find us there. That is it for us. Ed, thank you very much for joining me again. Kayla, Time Lord's wife, thank you for being here and being a great first guest. I'm Shane Murphy. This is the Man Cave Broadcast. See you next time.